Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 47 of the Unknown Games Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian, and we've got a great show for you today. This is a podcast where we talk about video games, more games, life in Japan, fast food. I was going to say like fast food, big cars, big money.
I like how you said like we have a great show for you today, as if we would ever come and be like, we got a bad show for you. It's just bad quality all around.
You never know. One day we might surprise some people with like, hey.
That's like when Apple goes on stage and they're like, we've created the best iPhone yet. As if they would come on stage and be like, we've made this basically, it's not as good as the last one, honestly. Like they would never say that, right?
Even in reality, we know it's like, yeah, guys, it's like the same. It's basically the same.
Yeah, well. I mean, yeah. They would never just come out on stage and just be like, oh, I don't know. I guess you don't really need this one, but we made it anyways.
Yeah. That voice that you're hearing now is my co-host, the one, the only, the one who brings the lowest amount of energy every podcast, except when there's ice cream involved. Alex.
Hey, what's up? I had ice cream today.
Oh, did you have it again? The same flavor?
No, I had a different flavor. So I bought ice cream. Was it last night? Sunday night? Last night. And then I was like, I'm gonna save this for later. And then after work today, I was like, I deserve this. Yeah. So I had a little ice cream today. Yeah.
That's like the only when you become an adult, everyone. I don't know if you're whoever's listening and you're already an adult. You know what we're talking about. But if you're a kid and you're still in school, I'm not talking about college. College don't count. College is like an alt reality. That's like, nah, it's not the same. But if you're in grade school and you're working your way up, one day you'll get to the point where after work, all you're going to want is a good hot meal or something sweet. Or if alcohol is your thing, you're going to want a drink.
Yeah, it's just honestly, it's like, I deserve this thing. I remember, well, it's like a kind of a stereotype where people are like, they come home and they like have a glass of wine and they're like, I need this glass of wine. Yeah, I'm like, well, why though? For me, like, I think being an adult, I'm the worst kind of adult, honestly, but I feel like once you become an adult, you've earned yourself a certain set of rights, and among those rights is you can have breakfast whenever you want. You can have ice cream for breakfast if that's what you want. Like, you can do these stupid things. It's like, it's only until you have kids you can do this, because I would never like, if I have kids or whatever, I don't want my kids to be like, oh, I want ice cream for breakfast. Because I'm like, no, you can't have ice cream for breakfast. And then they would be like, but you do it. Yeah. And then and they would be like, but you do it. And I'm like, okay, fair point. But I'm an adult and I'm allowed to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's the I'm an adult. It's like monkey see, no monkey do. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my little child, but I have special privileges because I'm taller.
Yeah, it's like when you become an adult, you'll understand what I mean. So I don't know. I don't want to be a bad example for my kids, but I probably would be so.
Which already makes you a good father. The fact that you have that in your mind already,
Yeah,
you already have that there. So as long as you don't teach them about the big cars, fast money, big.
Did you guys fast money? All right.
Oh, we're already off the rails, everyone. Well, as always, we got to say thanks for tuning in. Week in and week out, we know we've got a lot of wonderful fans out there, listeners. You guys are all awesome, and of course, even the other podcasts that are listening. We always support each other, and Twitter's lit, so we get down like that. I just keep wanting to say big cars and fast
money. I think
it's in my mind now.
You should be like switching those two adjectives, and then it makes sense.
It's fast cars
and big money. Yeah,
money. Yeah.
Right. There you go. You have to write that in your palm. You write that in your palm.
I gotta write that down. Like, okay, let me.
Every time you start the podcast, you're like, all right, we got a good show for you today. It's also fast cars. You have to read it off your hand.
Big money.
Yeah, or it's like smudge and you can't read it. It's like dig money.
Every time like anytime I go home, me and my mom, we always like ever since I was a kid, Price is Right. I don't know. Do you guys watch Price is Right in
Oh my
Canada?
God, Price is Right is like the show you watch when you're sick from school, like you stay home.
That's
Yeah,
like normal for me, man. It's like, come on down. Oh man, the dream should always be on that show one day. One day.
sure.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep on moving. We got a couple things that we're gonna talk about today. Number one, we've been playing, of course, that Apex, that sweet Apex Season 6, getting that new character Rampart in there in the game, playing with her, putting up those shields and all that cool stuff. It's been good, and I beat Plague Tale somehow, I unexpectedly, and Alex is playing Alien.
Alien Isolation, right? There's a
I,
bunch of Alien games.
There's
Yeah.
not one of the bad ones, but the good one. And after that, we have news. So we're gonna get into the show now. Without further ado, take me into the Alien Isolation. So you've been playing this for a couple of weeks now on your right, like a couple weeks.
Yeah. I
Mm.
mean, I don't um only play like a couple hours every second day, but I think it's 2 weeks in. I'm 2 weeks in now.
Okay.
I'm like a little halfway done, I think.
Okay.
It's like my first playthrough, so I'm going in blind actually. Like I haven't looked up a guide, I haven't like watched anyone play before.
Mhm.
I haven't even seen the Alien movies, to be honest.
Okay.
So
So there's a whole that's like really not strange, but like how have you not seen an Alien movie? Like you haven't seen DC, not DC, but like the Marvel cinematic universe either. So it doesn't
no,
surprise me too
yeah,
much.
no.
I guess if
I
think
just don't
about it.
watch movies. Yeah, I just don't watch movies. Is the thing. Like it's just the I just don't really
You
watch
gotta watch
movies.
Alien.
Yeah.
Man. It's a good movie. You gotta watch. It's summer. It's the perfect time to watch it. Then watch Independence Day after that, just for the heck of it.
I've seen AVP, and that wasn't good.
No, yeah. Well, just watch Predator then instead.
Well,
Yeah,
sure.
AVP. Just skip that saga. Skip the saga.
I mean, you've seen that movie, right?
I've seen them. I've seen all of them, ironically, like just on reruns, like Sunday afternoon reruns on Fox or like one of the local networks back at home. They just always play them in the summer. So
Yeah, it's not a good movie. Anyways, so I've been playing the game, and it's pretty good. So it came out in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not a new game by any means. So
right.
I think a lot of people have already played it by this point. I'm going in now for the first time, and it's pretty good. It's generally it's just like a solid game. It's put together pretty well. So I am assuming that it's actually just like the same kind of pace as the movies,
Yeah,
or the first movie rather.
yeah.
They're in like the space station thing. Yeah, and you're just basically you went in there originally to try to get answers, I think, from what happened to your mom, and then it turns out there's an alien on the ship who will kill you, and you're just trying to basically at this point survive and avoid the alien, avoid hostile androids, and other humans who may be hostile.
I know, like
So there's a bunch of threats. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, because I've been watching Wes from Console Gaming Crew. He's also been playing it, and watching both of you guys play the game. It's really it's like night and day because you're actually moving around. He's like super like tense, like he's always in the lockers hiding. But like the thing I didn't see when I was watching his stream was I didn't see the android, like those androids just walking around, and I didn't know that was a threat. Like, so how is dealing with all of those threats? Is it nerve-wracking, or does it like take away from the alien? Like, how does that feel when you're playing it?
Well, it's good that there's other threats for sure in the game. Honestly, if it was just the alien, I feel like the player would just get tired of the alien after a while, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to mix up the threats. It just in terms of pacing and everything like that. To me, honestly, like I'm not afraid of the alien that much. I'm honestly the things that scare me honestly are androids when they come in, like there's more than one of them. They're resilient. They'll take many bullets to the head and they'll choke you out, and you try to like run past them and then they'll grab you. It's so
You can't just like hide from them the same way you would hide from the alien. I guess they're
Right.
more sentient. Well, yeah,
Right.
in a way, yeah.
Yeah, no, and the androids are just generally creepy because they have glowing eyes and you can see them far away. Like you just see their glowing eyes like in the dark.
You just see, you can see them glowing and watching you,
Yeah.
waiting.
I think part of the reason why I'm not that afraid of the aliens is because you go into the game already knowing
There's an
about
alien.
the alien. Yeah,
It's in the
you already
title. It's in the
know.
title.
It is. It's in the title. It's like on the cover, kind of like it's just like you know there's an alien. You know what it looks like because it's at this point it's a pretty popular icon of pop culture. You've seen posters, you've seen action figures or whatever, right?
Right,
There's
right.
been several alien movies. I haven't even seen a single one of those movies, but I know what the alien looks like just because it's pop culture at this point. So I'm not afraid of the alien at all.
With the androids.
The androids I didn't know anything about. I didn't watch the movies. So when the first time that I came across one and then it choked me, I was like, oh my God, like that was a surprise.
Because I imagine like the first time you come across one, you're not thinking that it's going to be violent towards you, right?
No, no,
It's
not
more
at
like
all.
it's a robot. It's like a service robot kind of deal. Like you're walking
Yeah.
past the housekeeper. That sounds very creepy, like horrible.
Yeah,
If you have a
yeah.
housekeeper
And then
now.
it's just like, and then the android is like, you're not meant to be here. And you're like, I'm just doing my thing, buddy. Relax. And then he comes and he just like kills you. And you're like, what the, why? What?
Why? But what? Why? Why? You got to offer fast
Yeah.
cars, big. Anyways,
So, no, it's,
an
yeah,
experience.
I would say that's what scared me the most.
But oh yeah, continue,
Sorry, go ahead,
continue.
go ahead.
I was gonna ask, are there any like improvements that you would kind of want from the game? I know like when I'm watching a little bit, like it seems like, and this is I think by design, right? The objective that you're trying to find is like in front of you, but not easily locatable.
Yeah, I get that a ton when I'm playing the game. So I open the map and it's like go to this thing and I'm like, "Oh, it looks like it's here, but I can't find it." Like I'm like on top of it and or whatever and I have no idea where I'm meant to go. And it turns out like I just missed like a switch on the wall or something like that. Like
Because like the aliens or androids or whatever, they're still lurking. So I guess it's meant to create some kind of suspense, but it's because the environment's like in that you're on a ship, so it's not like some open huge place. It's like a room in a corridor that's like a circle and a square kind of formation, right? And you're just like, where is this? Where is this? Where is this?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Many times I've been like looking for some kind of switch or something, only to realize that I had, ran past it for the last 20 minutes. So, does that bother me? I guess so, kind of. Is it a knock against the game? I would like maybe yes and maybe no. Like, I don't know. Like, they're not hand holding, I guess. And the game isn't like a sprawling 60-hour, 70-hour game. And once you've beat it, you've
Like
beat it. And if you choose to do a second playthrough, you'll know where all the things are. The only thing that's changed is basically how strong the enemies are and how easily they'll maybe detect you, right?
Right. That makes sense.
So
So with that in mind, like it's pretty much like everyone recommends this game. Would you still recommend it? That's like a really dumb question, but would you would you as an Apple salesman recommend Alien Isolation?
I mean, yeah, if you're looking for just like a 3D adventure, I guess, and that's the kind of thing that you enjoy. It's really cheap I picked up for like $10 on the Steam sale.
Okay, so it'll
So
probably be back on sale. Has the summer sale happened yet?
yeah, I think that's when I bought it. So
Okay.
now we're getting into what would be the next sale. I believe is November for the Black Friday kind of Thanksgiving sale. But
Okay, Black Friday. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you have $10 to spare and you haven't seen it, because like I said, like once you've seen it, once you know where the things are, it's pretty simple, honestly, because you know exactly where to go, right, and what to do.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I kind of want to like for October. That's like the perfect time to kind of like play or stream one of those games. And I'm like debating. And I was talking to someone on the stream last night about this. Like what kind of games like should I play for October? There's Amnesia, there's Soma, and out. I think I'm probably gonna end up playing Outlast. I don't do well with horror games, and I don't think that you particularly like to play them either.
Yeah, same. Yeah, no.
Outlast seems like something that's gonna like scare the crap out of me. It just like Resident Evil, even 7, which was kind of scary, the demo for me a little bit. Um, like I Outlast, I don't want to play it, but I want to play it, and I know I'm going to be scared, and it's not going to be
Yeah.
fun. It's
Yeah,
not going to
same.
be
That's the
fun.
thing. That's the thing. So I mean, like everyone's like, "Oh, Alien Isolation is a scary game" or whatever. To me, it's not scary. I would say it's suspenseful, absolutely,
Yeah,
but I don't know if I would say it's scary.
there really not too many games that I found like scary, like actually scary, but in terms of just being kind of nerve wracking or kind of make me feel kind of anxious. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, that sometimes happen, but it's never like Resident Evil or even Dead Space. Dead Space has some nice closet scares, but it's something that I just feel like, oh my goodness, like, oh, I can't move forward. I'm paralyzed with fear.
I think for me, the last time I had that feeling in a video game was the PT demo.
That demo was that demo. Like, I can't stand that Lisa, bump Lisa. Can't stand
You
her.
played the demo, right?
Yeah, like that scary. Like I don't know why it's scary because the lights are off, because the atmos, like the ambiance, the flashes you get, like even going into that bathroom,
Hmm.
it's like when you're a kid and like the power's off, right, or something, and like you go into a room, you kind of open the door and you're like, I don't really want to go in here. Like I just had that feeling throughout all of that.
Hmm.
I don't like PT.
Right, right, right. So I'm not that afraid playing Alien Isolation, but I honestly couldn't get through PT. Like that to me, that was really scary. So
Hmm.
that kind of atmosphere, it's that atmosphere that makes me afraid.
That really
I don't-
eerie.
yeah, it's kind of like the eeriness, the what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like the supernatural kind of horror, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it still has that effect of something is there, just like an alien. There's an alien, but in PT, like you don't know where that thing's going to show up. It's a
Exactly,
it's a house.
exactly.
It's a house, and the spots, like because you've probably thought of those spots as a kid. Like I think that maybe that's it. Like anytime you've gone to like a house and there's a kind of open area that's kind of like the front door area, like when it's just thundering and lightning and you come in, and that's not a place you want to be. You don't want to go to the bathroom and in these places, like, and it just has that, just like Silent Hill. Maybe Silent Hill is a good example of that. You know what I mean? Just looking messed up.
Right, right, right.
Ugh.
So I think like yeah, I'm not afraid of Alien Isolation. I'm not afraid of the alien because I'm sure, yeah, it's a science fiction alien or whatever, but it feels grounded. It feels like it could, be a real thing. Like maybe
Hmm.
when we get to spacefaring technology, we might encounter a race that is like this and very hostile. Like that's just like a thing that my mind's like, oh, that could actually happen. It just feels so grounded, right? And I understand it. I understand the situation very well.
Right, right.
But when it comes to something like BT or Sound Hill and it's like the supernatural, and my mind is like, well, I have questions. I'm like, why is this happening? Why is the wall bleeding? Why is this? Why is this? And that's when I'm afraid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the unexplainable, just it shouldn't be there, but it's there. Oh
Right.
gosh. Yeah. So, yeah, Alien Isolation. I look forward to watching you play the rest of that and seeing how it ends. Same with Wes. I think you guys are about maybe the same ish area location. Maybe you might be a little bit further. So, I'm basically spoiling the game for myself. And if I ever
Because you're
decide to
never,
play it,
you're never going to
I'm
play it then.
never gonna play it. I've watched the movies. But yeah, when I was streaming last night, I thought I had like a couple more chapters in Plague Tale left, and the end of the game just snuck up on me, like straight up ended. And I got to say, I've enjoyed all of A Plague Tale. I've really enjoyed the characters, and I can say if you want to, like, if anyone wants to play a game with a good narrative, with just also a very nice looking game, uh, I highly recommend it. And it's not difficult. Now there are some puzzles that I got stuck on, or some areas I got stuck on, but I don't think that's something that everyone will get stuck on. And for the most part, it's good pacing, good gameplay. It's a stealth kind of uh, stealth game in a way, and I think I've kind of talked about it before on the show, but towards the end of the game, you do get some cool powers, and it's a lot of fun is not the way to put it, but it's just a good engaging story with good characters. And yeah, the end happened, and I just got to say for myself, what the heck, guys. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's going to play, so I'm not going to say what happens. Just leaving my jaw dropped, going, why? And
Okay, so you have some questions about the
I have
ending.
questions. I have questions, and I need answers.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about like when I beat FF7 Remake or something.
It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's more of a like, oh man, really? Why? You were doing so good up until this point. What happened? Don't drop the ball. But I do recommend the journey is worth it. And I don't know if we've played any other. Oh, Apex. There we go. Apex Season 6, man. We got to talk about this. How
Sure.
you feeling? How you feeling about Apex Season 6?
I'm pretty positive on it so far. I mean, I'm kind of like blasé about the crafting. I'm just like, yeah, it's there.
It's kind of like what we thought, right? It's like it's arbitrarily taking out some weapons or I think weapons are rotated daily. Certain attachments as well. Like I know last night or yesterday it was like the wingman, the
Right,
light,
right.
the heavy mag level 3, and the skull piercer. You had to craft them. I'm like, that's
Right.
great if you want.
So they're basically pulling out entire kits and making so you have to craft them. So the night before that, I think was the 301, which is a gun that I often use.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's like positive and negative because to craft the 301, it was only 40 points, not a lot.
It's
to be
not
honest.
a lot. Honestly, all of the crafting prices and how they do it is there's typically around the crafting station, there's 3 little resource pods.
Yeah, that
whatever
you can open up for 25 each.
and you can get them just like that. So it doesn't really feel like you ever had to make a choice, like,
Right.
do I continue to use the weapon I have, or do I craft this weapon, or do I try to get this resources or try to find it? I don't feel like there's a good risk reward or anything there. It's just there.
Right. So for me, if it's a gun, I don't use the wingman very often. So when it was the wingman last night, I was like, oh, whatever. I can just ignore the crafting stations unless
Yeah.
I wanted a shield or ammo, really. But then when it was a 301, I was like, oh, well, I'm guaranteed a 301 whenever I walk past one of those things, right? So it was like a good thing almost.
Yeah. And
I just don't know. I just don't know if it adds anything to my experience. Like
it doesn't add and it doesn't take away. It's just there.
yeah. So when it like pulls out a gun that I don't use, I don't care. And when it is a gun that I use, I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to hold on to a certain gun in the meantime. Like maybe I'll hold on to an alternator or a flatline. And then when I get to a station, then I'll switch it out for 301 or something, right?
Right. It's
I feel so. I was playing last night with my friend, and he suggested, and I think it's a good idea, where if they wanted to make the crafting system kind of like a big deal, they should make it so all hop-ups can only be crafted, and they're expensive to craft. So like a gold hop-up would be like 300 points or something.
that would be almost like the equivalent of like even like an Evo shield, right? Like an Evo shield is also something you would craft, right? But it's like the red Evo shield, but it would take a lot of crafting points. You know what I mean? You just can't find it on the map or even earn it.
Right, exactly. So
yeah.
if you wanted, if you have purple and you need a red Evo shield, you have to do 500 damage, which is kind of, it's kind of a big chunk of damage.
It's kind
right?
of a big chunk, yeah. It's a good fight.
Right. So if you wanted to make the crafting system like a really big deal, like he said, I kind of agree with him. Make it so all hop ups can only be crafted, and gold ones are quite expensive. So you would be like, it would really change the meta. Like you would be opening as many bins as possible. You'd be finding all those pods. People would start gathering around the pods, so fights would break out. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like there's no reason to gather around those pods. If anything, like I've seen people using the pods, and like when you craft at the crafting station, it not a beacon pops up, but you can see a flash of light around that area. And so we've just seen teams doing it, and we're like, oh, look, there's a team there. and they're probably just going to be standing there waiting on their goods to be delivered, kind of, you know what I mean? So, hey, let's just attack them. It's a part of the game, but Rampart, I gotta say, playing her was really interesting. You know, I had fun with her until the first experience, I was just like, okay, let me throw my shield down, and it takes time for that barrier to come up. But while it's coming up, literally, if you put it down and someone shoots it, it's gone.
It's gone.
Like
it's gone.
instant. Like it's it's a little bit too breakable. I don't mind that it's breakable in that state, but literally like a one shot, essentially. I don't know. It just kind of, you have to be very careful of where you're using it when you put it down.
Right, you have to make sure that you kind of protect it. So I think the reason why they make it vulnerable when it's popping up is because like when it is up, it's cover. It's just like
it's just cover.
When you crouch behind it, it's cover. You're protected unless you get grenaded or something.
And it has a pretty good amount of HP on it too. Like it takes some hits. So
I think they need it to be balanced, and I don't know. I think that they want people to be proactively putting up cover, not defensively putting up cover.
Yeah. You can't really defensively use it. It is very much an offensive tool, except for when you're, if you want to block doors / block areas kind of way,
sure.
That's quote unquote defensive in that sense.
That's like when I dick around and I use the Octane's jump pad to just surprise people in doorways. It's so funny. I love doing that.
We were indoors once, and that would have been awesome. So I was playing Caustic, and we also had Rampart too. So we blocked the door, then we put some gas behind the door, and then it's like if you would put an Octane pad somewhere in the middle of that would have just been dumb.
Yeah, I do it all the time actually. I love putting Octane pads behind doors because then if people don't see it, they like run over it and it just confuses them for a quick second.
But I think she's a fairly balanced legend. I don't think that there's any.
Yeah, she's all right.
I don't think she's underpowered at the moment, and I don't think she's overpowered even with her passive. Which apparently works wonders with the L-Star and reloading. I did not know that because it's an LMG. OMG.
Oh, and you can feather it too, so it never like overheats, right?
Yeah. So
that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerously good for people who love L-Stars. But what I do have to say is the monster in the closet, the green monster in the closet here is all this energy crap. Get it out. Too much energy. Too many volts. Alex.
I like the Volt. I like the Volt a lot.
I like the Volt too, but I don't need everyone in their team running 3 Volts and 3 devotions.
Yeah, it's interesting how they pulled out the devotion from the gold, like it's the normal weapon now, and then they also added the Volt. Like they didn't trade anything. So like what happened with the shotguns is when they traded the Mastiff and the Peacekeeper, right?
Right.
So we still have the same like balance of shotguns, but with this season. The devotion is now on the ground, and the Volt is also on the ground. So we have Havoc, Volt, and
L-Star.
What is it? The other one.
L-Star. Havoc.
Oh my god! I forgot about the L-Star. Holy crap!
There's 4 energy weapons, and the Volt is just so accurate. It's so.
I told you, dude.
It's so good. Other than the first part is it has a lower magazine size. I think it's 19, but it makes up for it. It's a laser.
You should play Titanfall because the Volt has much less kick in Titanfall. Like it is a legit laser beam in Titanfall.
It's a 301 it's an energy 301.
Yeah, it's so accurate. So I like the Volt a lot. So when they moved the R99 to the care package, I was like, yeah, I'm all right. I got the Volt now. So you know that meme where it's like friendship ended with whatever, like whoever is my friend now? That's how I felt about
the R99.
Yeah, the R99.
But the 99 is pretty legit. Like I tested out in the firing range.
It's good. No, yeah, it's good.
Oh my goodness. That mug, I'm like, this is the OP99 from back in the day. They just said,
it's very powerful.
Just put it back here. Let's dial it. Just dial it up again. Let's turn it up by 10.
Yeah, I like how they're red now, by the way. I like how the care package items are red.
Yeah. I picked up myself a red Kraber and just busted some people. I have gotten good with that Kraber on PS4. I won't touch it on PC. I don't want to get in a Kraber battle on PC. People will be like, I see dead target there. And I die. But yeah. So Apex is good. I think we'll both continue playing it. Anything else you want to say about the season though, or anything around the season, like the story, or the comic book panels that they've got? They've kept the quest kind of
Yeah.
storyline going, which
I
I
mean, I
think
haven't really read the com. I read the first page, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
they thought that they were doing something better when in reality, I can't tell if it's worse or not. It's like, I know it's got pictures now, but oh no,
I don't know. I kind of prefer
I
the
don't know.
comics because it lets me skim through it faster.
It
But
is a faster read. Definitely is a faster
yeah,
read. So that's Apex Season 6. We'll be playing it and keeping you up to date on anything that's happening there. So moving on, we're gonna, like, I don't know if we're gonna do this every week, but just some weeks that, seems like some pretty interesting Japanese games are coming out. Kind of a weekly release. This is the release list for what is this? 8/24, August 24th. And yeah, it's not like the hottest things coming out, but Captain Tsubasa Rise of New Champions is coming out. That's worldwide launch too. So if you want to get that, your Captain Tsubasa on. I mean, I'm not a huge Captain Tsubasa fan. I like Captain Tsubasa just for being over the top for soccer. And I don't know. Do you know Captain Tsubasa, man?
no, I have never seen a single one of those things.
Oh my goodness, you got it. The game actually looks pretty good. If everyone listening, the game actually looks pretty good, and I don't know if it's Bandai Namco, but it doesn't look like a normal anime game, which is surprising me. It actually looks like it plays well. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition coming out
Oh yeah,
PS4 and
that
Switch.
and also iOS and Android actually, and it has
Oh,
crossplay.
what with everything?
Yep. So if you have an iOS device and I have an Android device and my friend has the game on PS4 and someone else has it on Switch, we can all be in the same party. Yeah, it's
Okay, that's
crazy.
actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it is cool. Yeah.
Because I mean, like, remember the original game itself was you were hooking up what was it, a GBA?
Yeah, with the cable, right?
With the cable, yeah, you
Yeah.
have the cable, so that's how you kind of did that. Jump Force Deluxe Edition. I didn't know Jump Force still had legs,
I don't
but
even.
I
How
guess
much is the deluxe edition? I
I
would buy it for $20, but no more than that.
I don't even want to know. Apparently, it's on Switch only, so I'm guessing it. I don't think it came out on Switch. It's 7,000 yen.
Oh, that's rough.
That's rough for a rough game, bro.
Game's not very good apparently.
No, it's not. But a game I think you would like is The Legend of Heroes Hajimari no Kiseki PS4.
Yeah. Hmm.
Get yourself some of that RPG goodness.
The game looks really good.
Is there anything different about this one, like compared to the previous one? Per
Indifferent. I
se?
mean, this one has three protagonists, so 3 point of views.
So it's even longer, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't know. It probably is the same length, but it has 3 different main characters basically, and you're kind of going through their stories. And apparently, this one has 100 playable characters.
Okay, well, it's like was that Suikoden kind of
Oh
thing?
yeah,
Like
kind of
it's just got
yeah, maybe
just got
yeah.
a crap ton of characters. But if you make it all, make it all good, and when these guys, they do a good job on their games too. So
The
people
game is like not coming out in English for I would say like 2 to 3 years. Like
forever.
yeah, it's gonna be a while. Honestly, if you're a huge fan of Nihon Falcon games, so Ease and Legend of Heroes and anything else they might come out with, I would maybe consider learning Japanese.
Learning Japanese,
Yeah.
using that 5 years to just level up your own personal knowledge, open a couple of gates, and then you'll be ready to play the
Yeah.
game you've always wanted. The ultimate training test. That's like taking JLPT 1 just straight up, like out of the gate. I don't remember this learning this word. That's because it's not a word. It's made up.
Yeah. I don't know. I was about to say, I was going to speak Japanese in a second there. Just
Oh.
caught myself.
It's okay. You can. It's all up to you.
I was playing Legend of Heroes Sanokisaki, so Trails of Cold Steel, when it came out in Japan, and this was already a couple years ago at this point. That game is hard, like vocabulary.
difficulty hard?
Sorry, what?
Difficulty hard?
Well, yeah, it's just complicated. Like it's just not normal speak. Like it's not normal
Oh,
vocabulary.
Japanese. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was hard to. I mean, I understood it, but like
It's kind of like understanding like Kansai bin or like some other accent dialect here
no,
in Japan.
not concept. It was like political terms and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Also, they don't use normal vocabulary. So let's say, so when you go into a building that has more than one floor and you don't want to take the escalator, what do you take? What's that called in?
An
What's it?
elevator?
Yeah, but what's it called in Japanese? What would you refer to that as?
Isn't it just an elevator?
Right, it's elevator, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, but in this game,
It's got some
it's
kanji.
it's a joko key,
Oh, it's a rising cart
like up and down machine.
machine.
Yeah. So like, and that's not a normal
That's
like
not a normal word at all.
that's not like we would. I would never go to a department store and be like, oh, where's your your joko key?
Yeah,
Right.
it sounds more like an actual term for the device mechanism. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it gives it a certain flavor. So, I mean, I do have respect for the Nihon Falcom writers because they do a really good job of like writing their games to give it a certain kind of feel and tone to it. And it works really well. The problem is you kind of need to be like fluent in Japanese.
You need to be on that next. You need to be on that next tier.
Yeah,
Up.
to like get it, because like in any other context in daily life, you would be like, elevator or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it would kind of be like the equivalent if I went to a store and I was like, oh, point me towards your, I don't even know what I would call it, like your elevation platform or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's kind of also like sometimes here in Japan you'll have like there's some cases where you'll have the Japanese word and the Western word and they're both acceptable. Number one case is toilet, right?
mm-hmm.
It's like, can I go to the you can say like bathroom, or you can go, which is, I don't think you'll get that in a restaurant, but you'll either get like oterai or the toire, like toilet. It's the same place, but it's like, which one do you want to say?
Right, but at least both those are normal, right?
But if you come to Japan and you're thinking one of them, you're probably going to think like, you wouldn't think toilet. You never think toilet. That just sounds weird. Can I go to the toilet? Wait, does that sound weird?
the toire?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I've seen signs. I've been to a store and I've seen like toire, and I've also seen the other one.
Yeah. They're just both acceptable.
Right, but like, sorry, it's elevator, which is I think just really really normal. I'm sorry, and it's shokoki, so which is that's the other word for elevator, right?
Okay.
So if you go right now to a dictionary, like I'm on gshow.org, and if you type in shokoki, it literally says see also elevator.
See, also the easier word.
Right.
So we're going to see ourselves with the easy break right now. We're going to come back after the break, and we're going to talk about some more Apple and Epic greatness that they're getting into. Eat those apples. I need a better voice for that. We got to get a soundboard again. We got to get that soundboard. Where's your soundboard?
Which is this what, eat apples? I don't have I don't have a clip. I don't have a clip that says eat apples.
Eat apples. Like that or something. Okay.
I have this one.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Apple. Oh, I couldn't. I wanted to combo that, but anyway, we'll be back after the break, everyone. We'll be back. And welcome back. Big money, fast cars. I got it.
You got it. Yeah, you wrote it down on your on your hand this time.
I got it. Enough times of doing it wrong, I got it right.
Right.
We're back, and we've got some good news. We over the break, me and Alex were talking about just some cool games that Epic is giving away. Of course, like Hitman is going to be by the time this podcast goes up, you can get Hitman, the first season. Also, Shadowrun Collection. I'm not exactly the biggest Hitman fan, but Alex was telling me how many ways you can kill a person, and wow, that sounds
in the game. In the game. We just have to qualify that in the game.
In the game, no piano wire in real life, only in the movies and the video games.
But I totally recommend you. Well, I guess for anyone listening, really, if you haven't played the first season of Hitman, like the reboot, I guess the one that was like episodic. Get this, because this is like the whole first season, so you don't have to buy like the first mission, I guess, and then buy it piecemeal. I understand how people will kind of get turned off by that, but the game's been out for several years now, so this is it, season 1, all the content. It's really fun. Yeah.
And I was gonna say, like, they've been giving away some great games. You know, we had Remnant last week, I think, and then Enter the Gungeon. That was actually the week before, and now Hitman, then Shadowrun, and crap. What else is in my like? Just looking at my library, 20XX was really good, and I don't even have to get any, like all of these things, and not to mention Grand Theft Auto 5, yada yada yada, Civilization, yada yada yada. Total War, Troy, whatever. But does that mean that they have power of attorney over Apple? That's not the right. No. I don't even think I use that word right.
Most certainly not. No.
So, Fortnite, they have this campaign, Epic launch campaign called Free Fortnite. And you might have seen some of the ads for it in terms of what was it? Is it the 1984 ad that Apple used to run for? Was the 2Es?
These are one of their famous ads where they had, it's a reference to the book 1984, right?
Yeah.
Where the image basically is like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but
it's a pretty well-known ad.
It's a well-known ad, and so Epic did a rip on that, and then now I don't know if this event is still going on. It was over the last weekend, but you could apparently land in certain areas in Fortnite and eat apples. You don't need to win, be number one or anything. You just need to eat apples. And you had a chance to win a PS4, an Xbox One, gaming laptop, or just any other thing that they were offering as a prize.
Right. So here's the thing. Like, this honestly doesn't sit well with me because, so I understand, sure, Apple and Epic is, they're doing some litigation right now, and Epic feels a certain way, and Apple feels a certain way. But that's like a business thing. That's like a legal thing. That's like there's these two companies, I presume are being like big boys, right? And then taking this to the court. But by having this thing inside your game and also giving out prizes for it, it seems like really petty. Yeah, and it seems like Epic is just trying to get people on their side, which
kind of stir it up a little bit, hey.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, if you talk shit about Apple, you can win a PS4, and people are like, yeah, I can talk shit about Apple, and if you're gonna have this legal battle, that's fine. Just be a business and then have your legal battle. But I want to say leave your consumers out of it. You know what I mean?
I agree. It doesn't sit well with me that's a move that they made. You know what? Maybe if Apple had done something before, had put something out publicly against them, some sort of you know what I mean? Something that was kind of just juvenile or something too. But this is something that you would do where I'd rather see this being hey, Fortnite is 10% off on the Apple Store. And then eat apples. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, or if it was two competitors, let's say it was PlayStation and Xbox, and then they were kind of digging at each other, and they're just two competitors in this gaming space, let's say. But Apple isn't.
They're just a platform.
They're not competing against Epic. You know what I mean? I know they're in a legal battle right now, but Epic is. It just really looks like they're and the fact they're handing out prizes it just seems really.
Dichotomy.
I mean, it's fine.
Back.
Sure, if you feel strongly with Epic, if you're Apple is the bad guy here, that's fine. You can feel that way, but I don't want. It's just Epic is rewarding that kind of
behavior,
flame war, right?
Because remember, they broke the rules. That's the thing. And it's almost like they're trying to do it in a way that we broke the rules for a good reason. It's for you, everyone. So, be on our side. It's almost propaganda. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. And did you hear about here's one thing is that their lawsuit, their what is it, the document or whatever, that was pre-prepared.
Mm-hmm.
That was pre-prepared.
It was pre-prepared. So
they it was calculated that Apple would respond in the way that they did, and they're boom, here's our document, here's our friggin' 1980 Fortnite ad. They had it ready in advance, right?
Mm-hmm. And I read over the story that kind of dove into that a little bit more, and I'm not trying to remember it now as I'm reading over it, but apparently, let's see, it was June 30th. For this year, Epic, Epic CEO Tim Sweeney, Apple had put out a document stating that he had wrote to, some of their colleagues. I think it's like Tim Cook
Right.
and others top of Apple, and
Right.
asking them for like a side letter, kind of like that they would create a special deal that only Epic would fundamentally change the way in the Epic essentially dealing with what they did. They wanted a special deal.
They were asking for preferential treatment in the store.
Right. And then on top of that, there's another clause like in the document, like also that we will be able to like have permission to launch a third party app store for iPhones. That's like making another iTunes store.
Right. So you would download an app and you would purchase things through that app and presumably not have to deal with a 30% cut, right?
Which would be the Epic Game Store,
right.
Presumably, right? And that would completely undercut every part of Apple's, not only the profit that they take, but just the entire ecosystem that's set up on, on iTunes, on the App Store.
They would be able to use Apple's platform, but not have to give Apple any of the cut to be on the platform, right?
Right. And
yeah.
And I was gonna say, like you stated, before, they got this email and they looked over it. This is definitely a no. We're sorry. We're not going to be able to do this. Epic's like, hey, well, we warned you. And then they launched their campaign. They did their thing. And that's where we are. And the thing that I really find kind of like, I don't know, really, it's kind of annoying. Epic, how do you have the nerve to ask during the time that this court battle is going, that you were kicked off of the Apple Store for doing what you did, to be on the store again? It's like,
yeah,
I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, here's the thing. So I was reading I was on Reddit when I was also reading the same article that you're referring to now.
Yeah.
And people were saying like, if Apple had been like, sure, go for it. If they had given Epic the preferential treatment that they wanted, there's no chance that this would be going to court. There's no way that Epic would be fighting for the other companies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Epic would have gladly taken their preferential treatment and then launched their app.
And this whole battle, even more money.
This whole battle wouldn't be happening, and then they wouldn't be saying like, Apple bad, we're doing it for everyone else, right?
Yep.
So, and the fact that their lawsuit was pre-prepared, so they tried to get preferential treatment, they got turned down. And then they went ahead and tried to circumvent the in-app purchase cut by updating Fortnite. At the same time was preparing the lawsuit that they knew would be coming their way.
Sneaky. It's just really sneaky. And like, I don't know, like I think we've kind of, I think in society now, when it comes to big companies, and I'm sure anyone else listening to the podcast might feel the same way. Like, you just don't trust big companies, no matter how good they do, or how much, like, Sony, thanks for giving me a PS4. I really love the system. I love the games and everything you put out on it, but I don't trust you, Sony. I think that's a common kind of belief, right? Like, we don't want to give information or our kind of complete trust to corporate entities because we don't in any point feel that they're looking after us.
Sure, right.
This kind of thing. And I don't know if that's reflected in this kind of Oculus VR BS that's happening with Facebook. Of course,
the Facebook thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Facebook owns Oculus,
right.
But what started as pretty much like a really cool indie VR developed headset that really had a lot of steam going early on, and I don't think we can argue now that it still has steam, like the Oculus Quest and the
right.
Oculus
It's one
Go.
of I would say the Oculus Quest is one of the better headsets, to be honest.
And I was actually considering, like, if I get one, it's untethered. I've heard nothing but good things about it. The ecosystem's fine, and you can still get VR games from some of the other systems. It's a good deal. But for some reason, when they came out last week and said that moving forward, and this is granted starting in January 1st, 2023, so it's still a ways off, you will need a Facebook account in order to use your Oculus device, of like any future Oculus device and prior Oculus device. You will need to connect it to a Facebook account. If not, you will not be able to use like their services, Oculus services.
Sure.
Specifically.
So what
like
it
a
is
dead
is,
weight.
so come October, I think it's October, right?
Yeah, starting this October.
So new accounts will need to log into Oculus using a Facebook account. If you're an existing Oculus user, you will be able to merge your Facebook account with your Oculus account and continue to basically use your device. Should you choose to not merge your accounts, you have until, I believe it's 2023, and at that point you won't be able to use your account anymore.
Right.
So if you're gonna get an Oculus Quest for Christmas, you have no choice. It's Facebook or nothing,
Facebook.
right?
Yeah.
And if you're already a user now, come October, you have to decide: am I going to merge my accounts, or am I going to basically stop using Oculus as a platform?
Get like a Vive, or, Rift, whatever.
Sure. So I have to ask you. I mean, how do you feel about this? So if you got, let's say, a Quest for Christmas, would you?
Okay, maybe not Christmas. It has to be. I have to buy it because if I got it for Christmas, then I don't think I'd care as much, right? Like I don't think I would care.
You would use your Facebook account.
I would just link my Facebook account. But if I have to, like, and I'm coming from like me buying it though, like personally buying it, this put me off, even though I have a Facebook account. That's the weird thing.
So you don't want to do this. Okay, how's
yeah,
okay?
I don't.
If you were in the market for a VR headset, has this put you off Oculus? Has this basically pushed you towards a Vive?
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
So if you had money, you were gonna buy a VR headset tomorrow, it would just be a Vive because of this.
Oh man, yeah, it would be a Vive if any of them, or PSVR. And the reason I say that is like the thing that the Quest did, or like the kind of, it's untethered, right? And that was a huge selling point for me. And I was like, okay, well, it's a good price. It does what it needs to do, and it's a good entry level, mid-level VR headset, right? And I don't need to have a crazy good PC to really do anything. And it's good selling points, but for some reason this rubs me the wrong way because I hate Facebook ads already. Like I hate Facebook ads, and this is just one way. And I mean, it's pretty much stated like this is to help Facebook when they get your information. Of course, they can tailor ads or tailor their whatever the experience, quote quote, personalized content to you, right? Which is just ads. And how many times have I been on Facebook and the ads just been crap, and I'm like, I don't care about this. Like, get this out of my face.
Sure.
I just hate this. Anyways, that's me. I have a Facebook account, but I don't use it. I use Messenger more than I use the actual
Facebook.
The actual Facebook, yeah. So
I mean, so now that Facebook owns Oculus, right? I mean, just to try to be as objective as possible, like I do believe this is 100% within Facebook's right to force you to log in with a Facebook account because it's their company. It's no different than Steam saying you have to have a Steam account to play Steam games, right?
That's true.
Right.
But,
or anything like that. But it's just because for a lot of people, because it is Facebook, that they don't want to do it, right?
Yeah, especially now. I mean, my data's out there like that. my data's out there. It's along with my big money and fast car. Darn. Wait, I got it right again. Okay.
Yeah, it's big money fast car. You get that like get that tattooed in your arm, and then like if anyone asks you, you're just like, "Whoa, what does your tattoo mean?" And you just be like, "I really couldn't remember it."
I need it every time. But you know what? In the long run, I understand the point of view, like you were saying. It is their platform, and it does make logical sense that it would progress this way. I just feel it's just kind of weird, like we're forcing you, especially since there's already a login system that they have, and I agree.
Like it's
causing any issues.
I just don't know why they can't continue to use Oculus. Like you know what I mean?
And I think the issue is that if you don't, then it kills
your support is dead, right?
Your support is dead. Your system is just
you can't use it anymore.
It's just there. So that I think that's the main thing for me is that point. Like it'd be fine if it's like, okay, you can choose to make a guest account and just log in and play stuff. You know what I mean? Just whatever. Maybe that could work, but I don't know. That's the thing. That's the thing, everybody. Moving on, though, there was a cool trailer. I know, I don't think Alex saw this, but if anyone listening to the show, if you saw Black Myth Wukong, I have to say, like, Black Myth Wukong, like that.
Okay, I don't really know what that means, but sure.
I think Wukong is basically the Monkey King. So the Journey to the West tale. There's a Chinese studio called Game Science. They are former Tencent employees, and they decided, for some reason, bless their hearts, to make a third-person action game in this similar vein to, like, you know, a Devil May. I think it's, you know what, I'm not gonna say Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. It looks more like a God of War, in my opinion, in terms of how the combo strings work. But yeah, third-person action game. Looks beautiful. I mean, I saw a lot of people talking about it and watched the trailer. It's a 13-minute gameplay demo it's pre-alpha, and it looks really nice. I don't know why it's pre-alpha. It looks like it should be at least past pre-alpha, alpha, beta. I don't know. It looks really nice. But it's a retelling of the story, but with a twist on it, saying, and I had a Chinese friend kind of translate the text for me, especially on their website, but you know, maybe the legend that you know of the Journey to the West, you know, with Son Goku and the, you know, all the pig and everybody, maybe that's not actually the right telling. Maybe that didn't happen. And so this kind of the Black Myth series, which they kind of get to on the website kind of vaguely, they want to do more than one of these games. They're not sure how many, but they want to do more. They said that he has 72 moves.
Oh, wow.
Like 72. I'm like, hold up. Why would you nah, bro, y'all ain't gonna do 72. Like, Bayonetta doesn't even have 72 moves, and she's got a crap ton of anyways. So that's one of the things that they were talking about. They hope for it to come to PC, also consoles, which we haven't seen. And this is the main thing about this game, is we haven't seen a big budget PC. Heck, we haven't seen really a big budget Chinese game, if I remember, right? It's usually mobile or a MOBA kind of game, right? We haven't seen like one of these AAA titles come out of China. And I've been playing a couple games, Bladed Fury, Dusk Diver, you know, I think Dusk Diver is actually Taiwanese, but they all have this really nice action flair to them. And this game is no different. I'm looking forward to it. I think a lot of people who've seen the trailer, if you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out. Black Myth, you just look that up and it'll pop up. Really looks good. Looks good. Too good to be true good.
Okay, sounds good.
And in closing, we're going to wind this down. Alex, are you a Gotham fan? Are you a Batman fan? Do you love your DC universe?
No, but I did watch the trailer for the Batman.
Okay, so I'm curious. What did you think about it?
I liked it, honestly. I'm intrigued at the atmosphere. It looks really, really dark, honestly, which is fine. I'm okay with that. And then, of course, I think the biggest, you know, thing about the trailer, or that movie rather, is that Robert Pattinson is Batman.
That last scene when his eyes are kind of dark and emo, he looks so. I was like, boy, that Twilight vampire is living in this universe.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was talking to like my girlfriend about the trailer and how Robert Pattinson is in it, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know how I feel about that." And I'm like, and because she was like, "Oh, you know, because of Twilight," and I was like, "Well, it's not like he comes out and he's just like, 'What's up? I'm also Batman, but I'm also Edward.' Like he doesn't."
He's like he's always living in the Twilight universe. He never left. He never left.
Like it's me, Edward, but now I'm Batman. It's like not like he does that, obviously. So
oh
he's
my
just,
goodness.
I think he does a pretty good Batman voice. It's pretty good, right?
I actually, you know, going into this, I love Batman. My favorite hero, it's Batman, Spider-Man, and Iron Man.
Just all the men, yeah, all the men, yeah.
So someone was like, "So you like two rich guys?" I'm like, "No, yes." I love those. I love these characters because they're smart. And no, the other thing is, like, even Spider-Man, like, one day I always believed, like, you know what, if it's possible, right? It's possible for people to climb on walls and swing. You can make a gadget that can do that, right? And I'm like, one day I can be Spider-Man or even Batman or Iron Man if you have enough money. You know, you can make it happen.
If you have the money, yeah.
If you have the money.
Your superpower is money, basically. But
that was kid life for me. But I thought he did a good job. I thought that the costume was really nice. It looked kind of like a little bit of twist on the Arkham Asylum costume. I like that It, like you said, the mood was dark. It wasn't very light. The villains.
Yeah, it's also grim. Yeah, it's just really
yeah.
grim. Yeah, just the opening shot of that trailer with the guy just wrapping his face in duct tape. Like
duct tape. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
like this is
gruesome. Yeah,
some Batman stuff. But I mean, and I think it's either the Riddler or another villain. I can't remember. But
it's Riddler. Is it?
It's Riddler.
not?
I think it's Riddler because it's all riddles
and it's question marks. Yeah,
and question marks. And
is there another villain that has riddles? Is it like the quiz master or something? Yeah, is there a DC villain I'm forgetting right now?
Because every time we see the Riddler, he's always wearing a green suit, right?
It's covered in question marks. Yeah,
yeah. So I'm thinking like this dude does not belong in this world, right? and I thought it looked good. I thought when they got into the combat part, it looked really grounded and rough.
Yeah. And I love how brutal like like when
that
he
last part where at first it's like, let me hit you a couple times. Yeah. Now I'm just gonna hit you because I'm angry.
And he kept going. And then he kept going. I was like, dang,
oh man. Got some issue. And it kind of reminds me of the earlier comics for like Batman Year One, which is essentially like him starting out as Batman. But yeah, I thought it was good, and that surprised me. Like it surprised me, so I decided, you know what? Let me look at the rest of this DC fandom this weekend or this, one day or whatever. And I was surprised that DC, I think they pulled it off. I think after all the Marvel movies and after all their crap movies, they actually decided to make some fun stuff. Suicide Squad, crazy cast. I didn't know Nathan Fillion was in it, and I'm like, oh.
Well, who does he play?
Suicide Squad has villains and people I don't even know.
Is he a villain? I would love to see Nathan Fillion as a villain.
Well, they're technically all villains.
Oh, of course. Sorry, rather. I'm sorry. Suicide Squad. Yeah, of course.
They're just all villains.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in the movie. John Cena is there.
Oh my God, is
playing,
he?
Yeah, John Cena's playing. I forgot the character, but it's basically like the wannabe Captain America, just the bad version of Captain America. So
that's crazy.
There's I can't pronounce his name. Aaron Isis. I can't pronounce that guy's name, but there's a crazy amount of star-studded people in that cast, and of course, Harley Quinn, the girl, Margot. Everyone, forgive me for messing up names or not saying them. I should have a list, but I was just so surprised that they look like it's going to be a fun movie, And Black Adam, it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. The Justice League, the Snyder Cut. How the heck does that even look good? Actually, it doesn't. It looks markedly better than the actual movie. So we're hoping for a bad movie to become a moderate movie. Is what in my mind is happening.
Sure, right.
Yeah. But anyways, 2 games got announced as well. Gotham Knights, where you can play as Batgirl, Nightwing. I'm looking at the pictures here. Red Hood, and I don't know who the Robin is, but I'm just gonna call him Robin. They're all former Robins except for Batgirl.
Right, of course.
They're all former Batgirls. Anyways, that game looks pretty cool. Batman is apparently dead. Batman
Rest in peace, Batman.
Batman never dies. We all know that. And then the Suicide Squad. And I thought this game has the best title. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Funny trailer. The cast has really good chemistry. But that's being done by Rocksteady, actually. So they're heading
really?
that up. Yep. And then the Gotham Knights is being done by Warner Brothers Games Montreal. I can't speak anymore.
Cool, man.
Anyways, that was a lot of stuff. I don't want to keep us too long, but we're gonna close off with one thing. If you're gonna tag someone on Twitter, make sure you tag the right person. Don't tag an author.
Yeah, was it Stephen King or what?
Yeah, it's the Stephen King thing. So there was a story that essentially someone there was a Tekken patch
complaining about Tekken. Yeah.
Tekken patch goes up, someone's complaining, and the tweet is great. It's like, why is the low with the high pushback from Paul not launch punishable? Can you explain? Can you make Snake Edge from Brian then as well not launch punishable? Can you reduce the pushback from Paul? Why are some characters more OP? Why? And he tagged Harada-san, and then he was supposed to tag the I think the game's producer, Michael Murray. Instead, he tagged
Stephen King.
Not Stephen King. Yeah, it's a science fiction author, Mike Cole, who was, Stephen King. Obviously, he follows him. And I went to both of their Twitters after this to try to find this tweet and just the response, whatever. It's nothing but political stuff. It's nothing but like, I can't believe Trump did this today. That is the entirety of their Twitter. And then there's just this. There's just this. And Stephen King just replies on it. He just replies, strange, interesting, tantalizing.
Yeah, he like has no idea what this is.
What? It's like, who is Paul? Who is Paul? And what is pushback?
Yeah,
is what I
like,
want to have.
you're just pulling in someone from like an entirely different world, right?
Oh, so so some people are like, people are just having fun with this, and since we have Negan from Walking Dead in there, can we get can we get the clown in there? Can we get just random Stephen King cameo stuff in there? That would be kind of funny. Up in Tekken, his collaborations, and by the time this podcast goes up, I think, or after it goes up, or during it, you'll be able to watch Gamescom online. Gamescom is happening August 27th to the 30th, hosted by or produced by Jeff Keighley. What isn't he producing these days?
Yeah, I don't know.
Summer Games still is going, I think. I don't think it ever stopped.
Yeah, it's a weird year. It's a weird year for events, huh?
I don't know. We've got Tokyo Game Show too. Remember they said they're going to do something online. We still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Japan does not do online well. Online streams in Japan, like,
yeah, not great.
You're lucky if you get 1080p quality.
It's so
I don't
bad.
know why is that?
Well, here's the thing though, is like, I mean, I know you don't watch VTubers, but they're basically streamers, and I think they have by this point they have a pretty good system down.
They do.
Just go talk to a bunch of VTubers to like
just
get your
and tell
stream
them to
running.
play the games.
Yeah, sure, that'd be crazy actually.
They would actually have a large amount of people attending. That would actually, get Hollow Live on that for real. That would be, you just gave them some money right there.
Yeah, they owe me money now.
They owe you money.
Yeah.
They owe you fast money.
No, big money.
Darn it, I got it wrong. Big money, fast car.
Is that a phrase? Like, why are you obsessed with that phrase? Like, that's not anything I would say ever.
I'm watching this it's an HBO series called Ballers with The Rock with Dwayne Johnson, and it's just like managing football players.
And
they all have big cars.
No, fast cars.
Money.
Fast cars.
Fast cars, but they have fast cars and they have big cars too. And they get the money and
big cars. Like a truck, a minivan.
It's like. Oh man. Anyways, everyone, this has been a great episode. And as always, remember you can follow us on iTunes. Wait, what? You can listen to us on iTunes.
Well, you can also subscribe on iTunes.
You can leave a 5-star review for us on iTunes.
Sure, you could.
You could. Or you could also listen to us on Spotify. Tell your friends about it. We're here. We're here for you. But seriously, where you can actually follow us is Twitter and Instagram at UGP_cast. And you can also look up the YouTube channel at Unknown Games Podcast. One day, I promise I'll get to updating it. Actually, we'll get to updating it.
Sure, you should do that.
I don't know.
Now?
Yeah, probably. So, remember, you set the tone. Actually, Alex, do you have anything you want to say?
I don't know, man. Ice cream?
Eat ice cream and... Yeah, eat that ice cream, everybody. Go get yourself some ice cream. Go play some great games, and we'll check you next week for episode 48 of the Unknown Games Podcast. Remember, you are your own best friend.
Right. Look out for number 1.
Fast money.
No. It's big money.
Peace.
Peace.